Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Andrew. Today I wanted to talk to you about some places where I find cheap books. Books, hardcover books especially, can be expensive, but there's a lot of places where you can get cheap books now. If you live in my neck of the woods, southeastern Ohio, western Pennsylvania, and northern West Virginia, there are Dollar Trees and Dollar Generals and Family Dollars and all kinds of dollar stores all over the place. And recently I discovered that a lot of them sell books, and a lot of these books are pretty popular books. I mean, they're books that I would see at any other bookstore, major bookstore, Amazon, Barnes and Noble. So I bought a few recently, and I wanted to unhaul them and recommend them to you. Maybe some of you, I didn't read any of them. Maybe some of you can tell me what you thought of them if you have, but I'm excited to share them with you anyway. And we'll start with Speak No Evil. It is by Uzodinma Iweala. I think I said that right. Now this one sounds pretty good. It's about a Nigerian student living in Washington, D.C., star athlete. He, like I said, star athlete, straight A student, but he has strict Nigerian parents, and his dad finds a text on his phone and discovers something that he's been hiding. He's been hiding that he's gay. And, you know, it sounds really good. As heart-wrenching and timely as his breakout debut, Beast of No Nation. Oh, I did not know that he wrote Beast of No Nation. So this is definitely worth checking out. I definitely will be reading this. Sounds really, really good. You know, LGBT representation. It just looks like it's going to be a pretty good story. So this is definitely going to the top of my TBR pile pretty soon. The next one I got for you is Drop by Drop by Morgan Llewellyn. This book is her first science fiction novel. Set in the near future, it's a thriller where technology fails and a small town struggles to survive global catastrophe. Plastic has mysteriously begun to liquefy, all the small components making many technologies possible. Navigation systems, communications, medical equipment fail. Sycamore River, citizens find their lives disrupted as everything they've depended on melts around them, with sometimes fatal results. All they can rely upon is themselves, and it's only the beginning. Wow, this sounds pretty good. Drop by Morgan Llewellyn. Check this one out, guys. This sounds pretty good. Maybe find it at your Family Dollar, Dollar General, or Dollar Tree. Next up, we have What We Lose, a novel by Zinzi Clemens. What We Lose, a novel by Zinzi Clemens. And I love the cover of this one, too. This is... the blurb says, I love how Zinzi complicates identity and what we lose. Her main character, both South African and American, privileged and outsider, driven by desire and gutted by grief. This is a piercingly beautiful first novel. That's a review from Danzy Senna, author of New People. Raised in Pennsylvania, Thandi views the world of her mother's childhood in Johannesburg as both impossibly distant and ever-present. She is an outsider wherever she goes, caught between being black and white, American and not. She tries to connect these dislocated pieces of her life, and as her mother succumbs to cancer, Thandi searches for an anchor, someone or something to love. We watch Thandi's life unfold, from losing her mother and learning to live without the person who has most profoundly shaped her existence, to her own encounters with romance and unexpected motherhood. Through exquisite and emotional vignettes, Clemens creates a stunning portrayal of what it means to choose to live after loss, an elegiac distillation at once intellectual and visceral of a young woman's understanding of absence and identity that spans continents and decades. Well, that sounds pretty darn good, too. Paul Beatty, a very well-known author, calls it transfixing. He says that right here. There's a lot of praise for this, too. So this is going to go to the top of my pile, too. I think these three are going to be my weekend reads. Next up, we have 12 Days. This looks sci-fi. 12 Days by Stephen Barnes. I've heard of Stephen Barnes before. I haven't read of anything, but I've heard of him as an author. Let's see what it says. Just a review of all things Stephen Barnes does best: philosophy, martial arts, tight twisting plots, kick-ass action, and masterfully developed characters. And that was from R.S. Belcher, author of The Shotgun Arcana. So the book is a broken soldier, ex-Special Forces Terry Nichols and his wartime unit have reunited stateside to carry out a risky heist that will set them up for life at the cost of their honor. What Terry didn't count on was his growing entanglement with the family living across the street. A shattered family. When Terry joins journalist Olympia Dorsey and her two kids on a visit to an unusual martial arts exhibition, a teacher of singular skill offers not just a way for Terry to tap into mastery beyond his dreams, but also for Olympia's autistic son, Hannibal, to transcend his condition. To see these promises realized, Terry will need to betray those with whom he fought and bled. A promise of apocalypse. Meanwhile, a terrorist group claims responsibility for a rash of mysterious deaths nationwide, vowing genocide as the body count rises and society itself teeters on the edge of collapse. Olympia's fragile clan is placed in jeopardy, and Terry comes to understand the terrible price he must pay to prevent catastrophe. Damn, Dollar Tree. Damn, another one that is going to the top of the pile. I will be reading this very soon, too. Wow, so far so good for Dollar Tree, y'all. Tell me what you think of these books, and we can share some thoughts on them. This next up we have Gun Love by Jennifer Clement. Gun Love by Jennifer Clement. Now this, I like the cover of this too. Two alligators fighting. Looks like it could be pretty crazy. A searing, unforgettable story about a young woman growing up in contemporary America in the midst of its harrowing love affair with firearms. Jeez, if anything isn't more relevant today. Pearl's mother took Pearl away from her family just weeks after she was born and drove off to Central Florida determined to begin a new life for herself and her daughter in the parking lot next to a trailer park. Pearl grew up in the front seat of their 94 Mercury while their mother lived in the back. Despite their hardships, mother and daughter both adjusted to life, making friends with the residents of the trailers and creating a deep connection to each other. All around them, Florida is populated with gun owners, those hunting alligators for sport, those who want to protect their families, and those who are dangerous. But when the violence that surrounds Pearl changes her life in one shocking moment, the unlikely bonds she has formed end up sustaining her. Gun Love is written in a gorgeous lyric. In a gorgeous lyric all its own by the award-winning author of Prayers for the Stolen. Wow. Dude, Yins, I've got some, I picked some out. Yin's got to read this one too. I know this is going to the top of my pile. I might read that one first because that just sounds too good. All right, next one I have for Yins is Census, a novel by Jesse Ball. I've heard of this one. I actually had it on Scribd. I never read it though. I'm not sure why. Census by Jesse Ball, because I know it sounded interesting. Let me remind myself and tell you guys. When a widower receives the devastating news that he doesn't have long to live, he is struck by a question of who will care for his adult son, a son whom he fiercely loves, a boy with Down syndrome. With no recourse in mind and with a desire to see the country on one last trip, the man signs up as a census taker for a mysterious governmental bureau and leaves town with his son, traveling north farther into the country through a tapestry of towns named only by ascending letters of the alphabet. The man and his son encounter a wide range of human experience. While some townspeople welcome the pair into their homes, others who bear the physical brand of past censuses on their ribs are wary of their present. Towards the edges of civilization, the landscape grows wilder and the towns grow farther apart and more blighted by industrial decay. As they approach the man must confront a series of questions. What is the purpose of the census? Is he complicit in its mission? And just how will he learn to say goodbye to his son? Retching and Beautiful, Census is a novel about free will, grief, the power of memory, and the ferocity of parental love. It is also an indictment on the cruelties of our society by a major writer. Wow, Jens, I picked some really good ones from Family Dollar. I can't wait. I remember why I put that on my, flagged that on Scribd, because I really wanted to read that one too. I got one more for you. And this definitely is sci-fi, and I believe I've heard of this author. This is called Providence by Annie Leckie. She's a New York Times bestselling author, so I'm sure I have. Providence by Annie Leckie. Yeah, it definitely looks sci-fi. She's the author of Ancillary Justice and a Hugo, Nebula, and Arthur C. Clarke Award winner. So she's big time. An enthralling new novel of power, theft, birthright, and privilege from Annie Leckie, author of the modern masterpiece debut trilogy that began with Ancillary Justice, the only novel in history to win every major science fiction award. Wow. And like I said, this was $26 US. I got it for $1.25. A power-driven young woman has just one chance to secure the status she craves and to regain priceless lost artifacts prized by her people. She must free a thief from a prison planet from which no one has ever returned. Ingray and her charge will return to her homeland to find their planet in political turmoil at the heart of an escalating interstellar conflict. Together they must make a new plan to salvage Ingray's future, her family, and her world before they are lost for good. Yeah, I am going to be very busy with these 7 books over the next couple of days. So let me know what Jens think about my book unhaul from Dollar Tree. I got 7 books for a steal, basically. Have you read any of them? Let me know what you think of them. I'll definitely let you know. I'll post some reviews of the ones I read. I like and subscribe to my channel. I know these videos are so basic, but I have been practicing, and I hope to get better in the future. But I am enjoying making them because I want to put books that I like out there and also get feedback and recommendations and find book friends on YouTube. So like I said, if you just want to leave me comments, feel free. I'll try to answer as many as I can. I'll try to answer them all, actually. But let me know what you think of the books, and I'll see you next time.